A semi-final Saturday. Those in maroon outnumber those in red. Both teams suffered Hampden heartbreak at this stage last season here. Now for a place in the Scottish Gas Scottish Cup final on May the 24th. It's Heart of Midlothian against Aberdeen already. It's the Dons on the attack and firing the first ball into the box to test out that Hearts defence. It's knocked away by Jamie McCart, and welcome to Alan Hutton. And well, what an occasion. It's a wonderful occasion, and two teams with quite dramatic different styles.
Absolutely, Rory, a game that I'm really looking forward to. Both desperate to get to a final. And when you look at Hearts, they've been disappointed obviously with the way the league's panned out for them, so they'll be wanting to show the fans a big performance today. And Aberdeen, of course, they've been up and down this season, but desperate to get to a final.
Well, Mitof's first touch sees a mistake. Now Elton Kabangu, though, losing out to Alexander Jensen. It will be a throw-in to Hearts down in that corner.
It will be really interesting, Rory, to just see how they do line up. We've spoke about it, Michael spoke about it, the diamond in midfield, so there's going to be space wide for Aberdeen. If they can get switches of play, get it out there, they can maybe hurt them in those attacking areas.
Penrice swings it in. Away by Jensen. McCart, who was a double cup winner here with St Johnstone back in that COVID year. Adam Forrester, new contract sealed this week. So too this man, James Wilson, and he delivers the first corner kick as that comes off Mats Knuster.
It's a good start from both teams. They're trying to attack, trying to get something going. Good opportunity for Hearts here to get something in the box.
George Grant will take Hearts' first corner. He goes short. It's now with the left boot of Penrice. Out comes Mitov. Did not get much of it at all. And the ball is turned just wide. Just a goal kick is given. I think there was possibly a hand involved there as Jamie McCart had a swing at it, but Dimitar Mitov just back from a shoulder injury, and he's looked a little shaky.
He definitely has it. They work it really well. They go short. You think they're going to swing into that 6-yard box. It's a nice ball. You expect Mitov, with his qualities, just to come out and collect, but it's difficult. Sometimes when he's not been playing for a number of weeks, there's a little bit of rustiness in there, and that's shown.
Benny Beningame. And he will gain the free kick. I think, Alan, a lot has been made of Neil Critch's selection, and particularly that shape. I'm just looking at it at the moment, and it almost looks a bit more like a 4-3-3, and we wondered before if Lawrence Shankland might push up to be the centre forward with Wilson and Kabangu pushing wider.
Yeah, possibly a little bit, but if you see it from this moment in time, from our vantage point, you can see Kabangu out wide, Wilson the other side, and just Shankland in behind. But at times it does look more of a 3 in midfield, and I think that will give them that stability to play from. But we'll see how it develops, but especially in that attacking area, it looks like Shankland's just behind.
One of the main criticisms, of course, labelled at Hearts has been the lack of width and creativity that you get through the side. That would be Aberdeen's strength, wouldn't it? The two wingers, Topi Keskinen and Shayden Morris, will look to have a major influence on this.
Absolutely. I mean, you see the likes of Shayden Morris against Rangers, the pace, it's electric. He wants to take you down the line, get balls in the box. And I think when Aberdeen play at their best, that's what they do. They have overloads in wide areas. They like to switch the play, have cutbacks. The likes of Nisbet going on top of things. If they can do that today, it's going to be really difficult for Hearts to try and stop that and nullify it.
Knuster back to Mitov, who will just look to settle himself after those early mistakes. Morris trying to get away from James Penrice.
That's the thing, it's going to be real good battles, I feel, at the full-back position. You think of Penrice, he loves to get forward, he wants to get involved in play, but Morris will want to take him the other way, so it's going to be a little bit of cat and mouse, and on this big pitch, you should be able to find space.
Alfie Dorrington sends it up looking for Papagay. Start forward by Devlin. Knooster looking for Nisbet, who's been in a rich vein of form. 10 goal involvements in each of his last 10 games. Finding the net 7 times.
Probably feel the game's just yet to settle down. You just want somebody to get their foot on it, make a few passes. A little bit frantic, but it's to be expected. It is a semi-final after all.
Aberdeen's 11th Scottish Cup semi-final this century. They've won 2 of them. They've only beaten Hibernian. But they may see the opportunity, because so many times in recent years they've come up against the winning machine that is Celtic, including last season in that one of the most dramatic semi-finals in history. Penrice has done really well here, delivers that in, looking for Kabangu. Hearts looking a threat early on.
Yeah, it's a great out ball when you've got Penrice. He wants to get forward, he sees the space in front of him, he opens up his legs. It's a good ball into the box, and you want Shankland arriving into it. I want to see him play more up front, but if you can get him within those areas, I know he's not probably had the best scoring season this season, but he knows where the goal is.
Forrester gets his ball in. It's a good reach from Dimitar Mitov. So he picked up an injury away on international duty with Bulgaria. That was just after he'd returned from a hamstring problem. So Ross Doohan had been keeping the gloves warm for him. Doing a decent job, because Aberdeen won defeat in 10, but here goes Wilson. Kabangu's in space, just had to check his run a little, but Kabangu now. And the block made by Alfie Dorrington. Good opening for Hearts once again.
Hearts work the space really well. You actually see what Aberdeen at times are trying to do. Keskinen will go in the pitch and Shinnie will come up very high, almost playing like a winger, but when you turn over the ball, Hearts have room to go and play in.
Steinwender. Alexander Jensen for Palaversa. No Sievert, Hilton and Nielsen. Remaining out for Aberdeen. Christos Tobers as well, unable to make this one.
Like, watch here, you can see Shinnie, he's wanting the ball, he wants the switch of play, he's out wide, which allows Keskinen to go in and give Forrester a real problem.
Nisbet, that's slack. Wilson seizes upon it. Kabangu makes the run. Wilson peels wide to the left, and that allows Aberdeen to get some numbers back, but there's been a few untidy passages from the Dons, a bit of a nervy start from them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit sloppy, I think, from Aberdeen at times, giving the ball away cheaply. But that's where, if Hearts had real pace in those forward areas, that you feel that they could probably take advantage of that. But not having it, they then have to get up and look for passes, and it's allow Aberdeen to get back into a defensive shape.
Aberdeen are back here for the 2nd time this season, but they'll have shuddering memories of how they were swept aside by Celtic in the Premier Sports Cup semi-final. A few new players since then, particularly in that defensive unit though. Palaversa heads that away. Jensen, Dorrington and Knooster, all January signings. Now Shankland has got acres of space to pick out a telling ball in. Look for Kabangu, Wilson in there too. And Aberdeen scramble it away. It's really all one-way traffic at the moment in the opening 9 minutes at Hampden Park.
Again, it's another little bit of play that Hearts worked really well. You've got McCart switching out, he sees the run of Shankland, and you know he's got that quality to pick somebody out, and they're really unlucky again. They've been piling on the pressure in this first 9-10 minutes.
McCart. Jensen. Given straight to Jamie McCart. Penrice in a scrap and losing out, or winning it rather, with Jensen, and now into the box. Comes off Leighton Clarkson last. Another Hearts corner as they continue this momentum, and they would love to make this pressure count early on.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to. They've done so well. You just feel that playing for their fans, they're really up for it, they're aggressive in everything that they do. It's probably just that little final ball that's let them down at that moment in time, but if they can get that sorted, they're creating good opportunities.
George Grant with the in-swinger, out comes Mitov, and it's a safe claim this time. Bowls it out quickly for the on-rushing Graham Shinnie to try and just change the momentum that we've seen in the opening 10 minutes. Steinwender going with him. Beningame with the challenge, and the Aberdeen captain told to get back to his feet.
I think he just ran out a bit of steam there. It was a lung buster, but he didn't have too many options to play forward. I think Aberdeen got back in their defensive shape and worked it really well.
Gordon goes long 3 times, a Scottish Cup winner. First came with Hearts in 2006. Keskinen wins it back. Palaversa back to the Finn. Challenged by Forrester.
You feel Aberdeen, they just need to get their foot on the ball. They have been a little bit sloppy, like you see there. It's a nothing ball to nobody. You need to pick out a teammate.
That's Knuster. Guilty of the loose pass signed from Ferencváros in the January window. Shankland looking early for Cabangu, covering the run was Jensen though. Shinnie, Gay. Space for Jensen, but it's a terrible pass. Straight to Devlin. Cabangu now. Looks early for Shankland. Knuster away.
Something Hearts have done really well in this opening 12 minutes, where they're just allowing Aberdeen to have the ball. And when they're sloppy, they're jumping all over it and they're breaking really quickly. While now. Beningame.
McCart. Back it comes to Benny Beningame. And out wide for Penrice. Steinwender. The Austrian. It's going to be a difficult one for Forrester to keep in, and he's unable to do so. Unbeaten in 6, Aberdeen winning 3 of those. Jimmy Tillin has never managed in a cup final in his career. Neil Critchley getting his first experience of Hampden Park. They'll settle for Cammy Devlin. Steinwender, much like Aberdeen, it's a new-looking defence with McCart, the Austrian having signed in January as well. Wilson goes down, but he won't be getting anything out of it.
Yeah, I don't think there was much in that, just good pressure from Aberdeen. But at times you see Cabangu and Wilson split at this moment in time to try and stop the passes wide, but when they are breaking, it looks like they're trying to play a little bit closer. And as we see Shankland dropping deep to try and get in the ball.
Jensen coming under pressure from Devlin. That's what he does so well. Jimmy Tillin is trying to get the message onto his back 4 that they're sitting too deep. He wants them to push up.
I think that's the one way in which the diamond can work. I know there's been lots of talk about it, but if you do have good possession of the ball, and you're comfortable, you can move it about, you can get people in spaces to drop off and get on it and turn and make things happen. For Aberdeen, you do want them to push up, you want them to switch the ball quickly. That stops Hearts from what they're trying to do. But at this moment in time, they just can't get a foothold in the ball.
Well, the first sighting of the pace of Shane Morris there. Can't get his cross in beyond Jamie McCart, and Aberdeen have their first corner and a chance for their support to respond.
McCart does it actually really well for a centre-back, because as a centre-back, you do not want to be going out there against somebody with lightning pace. So he done well just to slow him down enough to try and put in the cross.
Graham Shinney, the captain, will deliver this. Straight back to Morris, asks him to get to the byline, he does exactly that. Penrice got his head to it.
Shaden Morris, he's so dangerous. When you just give him any sort of space, he's willing to take it.
Well, this sort of pitch is perfect for him, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect for him, and not so perfect for a winger, a fullback, sorry.
Came closest to that lightning pace that you came up against in your career as a fullback, that you just felt that if they knock that by me, I'm in trouble here?
Oh, a number of them, especially when I started to get a little bit older. Adama Traore, he had some lightning pace.
Well taken in by Keskinen. Comes off Forrester, who times his challenge again. Aberdeen get the corner and a slight shift in the momentum in this game.
Yeah, good defensive play from Forrester, as we spoke about earlier. Just signed his new contract, keeps his eye on the ball, doesn't allow Keskinen to come inside the pitch where he wants to go. Good defending.
Leighton Clarkson scored that wonderful free kick at Pittodrie last week. Take the set play. Clarkson's ball in as the sun starts to peer through, and the header comes off the crossbar and in! And it's Papa Happy Gay! How about that for a momentum swing? Aberdeen have been under the cosh in the opening exchanges. The bullet header rattles the bar. They may well have come off Craig Gordon for the final touch. We'll need confirmation on that. But the Dons lead at Hampden Park.
It just shows you, Rory, you only need one opportunity, especially when you don't have the ball. The delivery from Clarkson is exceptional. We've seen what he's all about against Rangers with the free kick. You see it delivered there. What a powerful header from Papagay. And I think it does just come off the knee of Gordon, which is really unlucky. But the header and the delivery was top quality.
Well, VAR are having a check for offside that would be against Topi Keskinen, whether he's had enough involvement here to intervene with Craig Gordon.
You know, it's a difficult one because he's standing right in front of him. He does impede him. It'll be interesting to see what they say, but...
So John Beaton in conversation with Greg Aitken and Sean Carr, his assistant, the team on VAR, and the goal will stand. Craig Gordon, own goal. Here's Gay. Now Baningime.
That's the thing, Rory. Normally, when you have a set play, you have a striker or whoever it may be in front of the goalkeeper. Gordon gets a shove on him and gets back to his line, so you're thinking that that should be fine.
big influence coming from Gay. Might not be his name that goes on the score sheet, but crucial moment for Aberdeen when they had been struggling in the game, but in this great run of form. They have dropped to 5th in the Premiership table, which is their lowest since the opening day of the season. But they're fighting on 2 fronts to get into Europe and potentially guaranteed group stage football for next season, which could mean upwards of £5 million.
It was an absolute bullet header from him, just the movement. As soon as he leaps up, he's got all the momentum and he puts all the power off the cross, which was great for delivery as well.
Here's Grant, still going. Kabangu leaves it for Penrice. His cross comes off Jensen and will be a throw.
Just shows you in these big games, it's all about fine margins, little moments. Hearts had all the possession, you felt that they were creating, they could possibly make something happen. One set play and you're 1 goal down.
They've been close games all season between these two. A 0-0, a 1-1 and a 3-2 victory for Aberdeen right at the time when they were absolutely flying, but it took a Palaversa 88th-minute winner at Pittodrie to separate them. Shankland unable to get any joy there.
It's the thing with Lawrence Shankland that we've spoke about for weeks now, playing in that position. You see how intelligent he is there. He understands that the ball's going to get fired across the 6-yard box. All right, it doesn't quite get there. He gets a little touch on it, but he's making the right runs. And when he plays in that number 10 position, I feel that he can't do it as often as he would like.
Steinwender. It's it back to the safety of Craig Gordon. Now Penrice looking to make a move down the left. Devlin. Steinwender. Drifts out of play. And now it's Hearts whose passing begins to go astray.
Yes, I think it's their turn to get a little bit sloppy. But you can hear the crowd. It's 1, 2 sloppy passes and you can hear them, just the moans and the groans. It's something as a player you don't really want to hear. You want to get them right behind you again, especially after what happened in the league situation.
Well, there's a lot of discontent certainly with failing to make the top 6 for Hearts. I read this week that there'll be the 11th season in the last 13 that Aberdeen have finished above Hearts. Here's Jensen. It's all about the cup. Certainly for Hearts this season. Safe enough, you would think, from relegation, but I suppose you never know. 40 points already secured.
To be fair, it's very tight down there, isn't it?
Mitov finds Nisbet and then quickly out to Jensen. Aberdeen free kick. Antti Palaversa feeling the effects of that and that.
Devlin just trying to wind them up there a little bit, I think. Yeah, it's a shoulder to shoulder with Lawrence Shankland there. There's not a lot in it, it's just a 50-50.
Clarkson targets that back post. I wonder if Canusta could have left that for Gay. And now comes to the Senegalese striker. He's delaying his cross. Dorrington. Shinnie decides it's time to send that ball in. Bit of a swirling south side of Glasgow wind. Jensen. Gay gets up well. Keskinen now. Keskinen squeezes the shot in. Steinwender looked to have marshalled him well. And it does go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, Papa Gay does really well. He's really aggressive in there, like we've seen for the goal, and he just flicks it on. Aberdeen just want to be first to the ball here. Keskinen, you know what he's wanting to try and do. He's wanting to get his shot off. Steinwender just does enough to put him off, and he drags it wide.
Well, remember, the winner of this one today will face the winner of tomorrow's Scottish Gas Scottish Cup semi-final between St Johnstone and Celtic. That's from 2:30 on Premier Sports 1. And semi-final time in Italy as Morris gets there first ahead of Craig Gordon. Morris, can he pick out a teammate? Gay coming in, and what a touch it was from Cammy Devlin to get there ahead of Gay.
Devlin done brilliant to get back in, but the pace is outstanding. I mean, from up here, you just knew Craig Gordon wasn't going to get there. His touch has taken him a little bit too wide. If he could just get it inside, he'd maybe get an opportunity. But Devlin, well done to get back in.
Just to complete that, it is 1-1 between Inter and AC Milan in the derby in the Coppa Italia semi-final. Second leg coming up on Wednesday night, 7:55, Premier Sports 2. Beningame wins it back. Wilson cuts in, only into the path of Clarkson. Grant to Shankland now. Forrester squeezes that through to George Grant. Penrice in with the left foot, it's over Grant, it's Shankland now, through the legs, and the leveller from Lawrence Shankland, the former Aberdeen player. Well, he's not had the greatest of seasons in front of goal, but Lawrence Shankland, the Hearts captain, comes up with a huge moment for his side in the Scottish Cup semi-final, and it's all square again.
Another great goal. Penrice, we spoke about him earlier. If you give him that room, he's going to deliver, and that's exactly what he does. You see him here just getting the ball at his feet. He's got one thought, it goes over everybody, and this is what I'm saying about Shankland. If you put him in the right areas of the pitch, he will score goals. He's not had the best of seasons so far in terms of goals, but if you put him there, he will hit the back of the net.
Lawrence Shankland, only a 5th goal of the season, but how huge could that be? It's his 15th appearance against his old side. 5 goals, all of those coming for Hearts. And 1-1 at the National Stadium. And, well, what an enticing semi-final this one really is turning into.
You could see exactly what it meant to Neil Critchley as well. He was running down the touchline going crazy there. He was loving it.
Touch from Nisbet onto Gay. Steinwender got there ahead of Keskinen, and the offside flag was up in any case. Shankland now trying to rile up his teammates, asking for more, demanding an improvement in performance. That's the lightning pace of Morris. Just when Aberdeen were looking for their second. And now Gay. Hearts looking a little stretched again here. Papa Gay. Important touch from Grant, but it does now come to Morris. Wasn't really too sure where to go with it.
That's the thing, when Aberdeen have the ball, if there is space to run in behind and you know you've got someone like that, you play it, because he's so quick that you know he's going to get there before Craig Gordon. He was really unlucky.
Shinnie, Clarkson.
You would think it's one of the areas where in the summer Hearts will look to bring somebody in, because there's nobody really within that squad that you look at this moment in time that can do something like that. You can play it in behind, you know they're going to get on the ball, make something happen. Something they're probably going to have to look at.
That'll be the first attribute you're putting into the analytics. Pace.
Just type that in first. Can we have some pace, please? 99 preferably.
Palaversa, Morris, Clarkson. There's Shinnie. Well read by Forrester. Comes back to Shinnie though, and he's looking for Keskinen again. Nisbet in the middle, Gay trying to arrive. Steered away by Penrice. Shankland with the level head to chest that to Devlin, and now Penrice getting forward again. Kabangu, flag stays down, but Elton Kabangu can't deliver the telling ball this time.
Yeah, it's a disappointing cross, but again, Penrice, room to run into. I mean, he's had an outstanding season this year, a real shining light for them. If you give him that freedom, he will exploit it, as we've seen for the goal.
It's been an opening half hour that's flown by.
Definitely has. I've enjoyed it. It's been a good game so far. Yeah, a little bit sloppy at times, but it's understandable. It's a semi-final. People try to find their feet, but to have 2 goals and both teams really battling and really fighting, it's good to see.
Palaversa, Jensen now. His options cut off by Devlin, who tries to seize upon the hesitation from the Dane.
I feel that's a reason Devlin's been brought in there, for his aggression. He wants to get out, he wants to nullify opponents, he wants to be aggressive with them, and you see it there, he's trying to wind people up and get tight, and that's why he's in that midfield.
Making themselves heard. They sold out their allocation before requesting more tickets. Now here's Shankland, Wilson. Just managing to keep that in play. An opportunity for Mats Knuster to slide in and halt the attack. Mats Knuster was involved in the Danish Cup semi-final last season. Helped his side, AGF, into the final against Nordsjælland, but it wasn't without drama. The floodlights went out. The stadium in Aarhus during the second leg, much to Nordsjælland's annoyance.
Good information. Like that.
Cart. Just looking a little unstable for a moment, but then finds his skipper in Craig Gordon. Steinwender. And McCart. Wilson the target, has to go chasing it as well.
But you can see what they're trying to do, Rory. When the likes of McCart, Steinwender get on, look how high the fullbacks are up. That's the width for them there.
Well, down goes Forrester, and it will be an Aberdeen free kick. Forrester's down and hurt, but Shinnie was determined and convinced that the free kick was to go his way.
It did just look like a 50-50 ball at that stage, and I think James Wilson has just come off worse. Originally just looked like an aggressive tackle, but it looked fine from here.
Well, there's already a new right back confirmed for next season at Hearts, Christian Borchgrevink, Norwegian, confirmed this week, and the understanding is that there's another winger to come in as well. Kazakhstan international and Islam Chesnikov, expected to be presented next week, or confirmed next week at least.
Looking at the squad early, sounds like.
His flick on, Keskinen. Well, the free kick goes against him. Forrester looked round at John Beaton and got the free kick his way.
That little nudge in the back, used to love that one as a fullback. As soon as you feel that contact from the striker, down you go. You always can get it.
It's always amazed me. I mean, there is a bit of contact there, but you do see it, and I'm sure I've seen it with yourself a couple of times, how a brush in the back makes your knees buckle.
It always does. That's what happens normally. So, but I've understood why managers used to get annoyed with it, because you're in a dangerous area, especially for defenders. Just don't foul. So as soon as you feel anything, over you go.
Grant. Wilson now. Well held up by Dorrington, but Shankland's won it back. Devlin now. Shankland continuing his run. Dorrington and Shinnie combine to squeeze out the space on Hearts' goal scorer.
It was really well worked there. It just got a little bit tight between Devlin and Shankland. And Dorrington and Shinnie just blocked off the gap, didn't allow them through.
Jensen again coming under pressure from Devlin. McCart challenging with Gate. Grant, Penrice. Grant goes down, play will go on. McCart, Steinwender. Well read by Knooster, but Beningame gets there. Knooster's now out of position, and Wilson looks to profit from that. Kabangu lays it back, but only into the path of Morris. Aberdeen were really stretched there. Morris now looking to go for a mazy run, and he wins the free kick, which Cammy Devlin certainly doesn't agree with.
I think it was actually a good foul to give away, because you had Jensen on the overlap there, and if he managed to get through, they'd have broken into the kind of final third of the pitch. So it was actually a decent tackle there from Devlin just to bring him down. This you just see there, I think Dorrington just does enough just to take the touch away from Kabangu, because he could have got in front there and he could have got an opportunity. So it was good from Dorrington there.
Clarkson to spread one out. It's a really positive ball for Shinnie. Left-footed ball in, and well dealt with by Michael Steinwender.
It's a real dangerous ball in there from Shinnie. You see what he's trying to do. He's just trying to hit the middle of that six. And I think if Papagay just backs himself just to make that run, because he just kind of stands still, if he makes a run across the front post, he might have got on it, but Steinwender with a good clearing header.
Clarkson. Remember, Aberdeen's goal came from a corner. Bullet header from Papagay.
I was actually just watching it there, Rory, again, and you watch Papagay start from the back post and he just makes a little arc and run round to the middle of the six, and he was free again.
He hit the bar with the first one that came back off Craig Gordon and in. Now Morris, but he's run into trouble there, and Devlin's going to chase this one down. Coming across is Alexander Jensen, though.
Good cover from Jensen. He spotted the danger because Shinnie was not getting back there.
But Wilson gets there first. Devlin's in the middle here if this will come across. Shinnie, Devlin goes down. Beningame now. Wilson. Hearts have numbers forward here. Out it goes for a goal kick. There will just be a delay while Greg Aitken and Sean Carr have a look at this, as Devlin tried to rush in. And, well, the check is very quickly over.
James, you just see it there, it's more of a coming together than anything. Look, you've seen Devlin, you know what he's like. He bounced up relatively quickly, so you don't really think you would see anything for that other than play on.
There's Grant lofting it to the back post where Shankland was challenging. Morris. Will be a Hearts throw. Do remember as well that it's the Scottish Football Social Club hosted by Darryl Curry and brought to you by McBookie. That's live on Premier Sports YouTube and X channels every Monday at 6 p.m. to review all the weekend action. Knooster sends it clear. Devlin, Shankland, and Shinnie up to halfway. Forrester. Grant picks out McCart. Penrice for Kabangu. McCart now looks long. Kabangu providing the run, but Dorrington covering that. It's now up to Penrice to pick up the second ball. Gay, neat flick on for Keskinen as he got the pace to get away from Steinwender, who dives in, and it's a red card for the Austrian. Topi Keskinen's pace was always going to cause that Hearts defence problems. Steinwender got his timing wrong, and 2 minutes before half-time, the red card is out from John Beaton. I wonder, Alan, was there enough cover?
I was just wondering there. I seen it, and I thought Forrester was possibly getting back. He was at top speed as well, and he was cutting across. I feel if Keskinen was maybe going to get the touch, that Forrester possibly could get back in. I mean, we'll see here. We know he's got the pace to get away. Steinwender makes tackle. No, I think it's the right decision.
I mean that's one of them. Denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Is it far in, too far out?
Yeah, it is one of them. It is relatively far out. He's still got an awful lot to do, but as the last man, you bring him down. So only one thing for me is going to happen. Originally, just from the angle from here, I thought Forrester could maybe get back, but when you see the other angle, he's not. So I think it is the right decision.
Michael Steinwender heads off, possibly a turning moment in the game. He's absolutely devastated as he heads up the tunnel.
At a time, Rory, where you're thinking it's nearly half-time, both managers relatively happy with the score, things to work on, yes, but happy, and then that goes and happens. Again, pace.
Well, can Aberdeen force double punishment here? Clarkson, no takers for that one. You can hear what the Hearts fans think about it.
Different wavelengths there, definitely. I think that was maybe something from the training ground that didn't quite come off.
2 additional minutes at the end of this first half. Hearts are pretty keen to make an alteration before the break. At the moment, Forrester's gone into centre-back with Cammy Devlin at right-back, but Frankie Kent is the one that they're intending to bring on. And here's Gay. Forrester reacted well. Oh, it's just with a bit of an unnatural back four at the moment.
It will be interesting now, Rory, to see what they do at half-time, because the width was coming from the full-backs, and now down to 10, you tend to kind of sit back in that kind of block, and you need a little bit of, you need an out ball, you need somebody to go and hold it up. Maybe Shankland could be that guy, as you see now. He's the main
that's
guy.
Just at the moment, they look 4-4-1 with Cabango out on the left-hand side, Wilson to the right, Shankland now through the middle by himself.
I mean, that's what makes sense. You need somebody up the pitch that's going to be able to hold the ball and then try and get up close to him. So it looks like Shankland's that guy.
I wonder who will be the one to make way for Frankie Kent. In from Jensen. Nisbet keeps it alive, but only into the path of Wilson. Frankie Kent, who will be coming on, but that might be once the half-time whistle is blown. So for the second half, he hasn't played since the 1st of December against Aberdeen. Jensen in again. He was on the bench at Motherwell last week, but didn't come on. So there is the half-time whistle. Boos ring out from the Hearts' ends, but it was Papagay whose header rattled the crossbar before going in off Craig Gordon. Own goal from the Hearts, #1, but the equaliser from Lawrence Shankland before a key moment in the closing minutes of the half. 2 central defenders coming on for 2 strikers. Elton Cabango and James Wilson head off. Frankie Kent and Craig Halkett, 2 players who have just come back from pretty long-term injury. Coming on, so a change of system, the back 3 for Hearts. Halkett did come on for the final minute away to Motherwell last weekend. Here's Beningame and Shankland, who will now lead the line. This is Forrester. And Alan, is that the change that you think, or the changes that had to be made?
Yeah, I think it's a good call from Neil Critchley, because defensively they'll need to be strong, they'll need to be tight together. Huge jobs for Forrester and Penrice to get back in, but also get forward and help out, and you get Shankland up the top of the pitch. For Aberdeen, what I would say is the space is down beside the back 3.
Shinnie, and sliding in is Frankie Kent. His first involvement for the club since the 1st of December. Aberdeen will look to keep the tempo high. Keskinen slides it across, and there's Halkett, his first touch.
You see it there for Hearts, they just drop back into that 5 and try and protect. That's what they're going to need to do, but they have to have an outlet as well.
Clarkson almost squeezed through to Morris. Jensen was never quite convinced. Did score against Dunfermline in round 5.
I was going to say that's right backs for you, but he's probably got more than I do, so I'll let him away with that one. You understand why he's going to take the shot from there, but just drags it a little bit. I think this is, the onus is now, of course, on Aberdeen to keep the tempo high, to move the ball quickly. If they can do that, you try and tire them out, because physically, mentally, it can be really tough going down to 10. So if they can move the ball, switch it from side to side, use that pace, that's a massive advantage for them in this second half.
Would you expect Jimmy Tilleen to do anything to react to what Neil Critchley's done, or keep it the same for now?
No, I don't think he has to at this moment in time. We all know where the threat comes from in terms of Aberdeen. They want to switch it out wide and use the pace that they've got. So as it stands now, they're trying to exploit that space down the back 3.
does it allow for a bit more freedom maybe for Shinnie and Jensen?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You see Shinnie in the first half, he was almost at times trying to play as a winger when he had the opportunities to go forward. So now, as Hearts drop back into a 5 and you've got the midfielders in front, you can see where all the space is, but it's about doing things quickly. The more time that you take on the ball, it allows Hearts to get back into that defensive shape.
Ante Palaversa taking a rap on the foot from Lawrence Shankland. th meeting in the Cup. Aberdeen won the first 7, incredibly. Hearts have triumphed in 3 of the last 4, the last time coming 2016. Callum Patterson with the winner. Aberdeen's last victory over Hearts, 2010, round 4. Darren Mackey and Lee Miller for a 2-0 victory. Lawrence Shankland a little lucky to escape there without a card.
Yeah, there's nothing worse, I'm not going to lie, than somebody running across at full pace and kind of standing on your foot. It can be really sore, but it's just a little bit late. I think it's all right. A little talking to and get on with it.
Palaversa is back up and Croatian on the ball now. Here's Dorrington. Palaversa. Knuster has to go and retrieve that one.
See that when you've got easy possession of the ball and you're moving it quite slow, Hearts are quite happy to sit like that. You actually want to bring them out to then allow you to get in behind them. That's when the space opens up, but it needs to be done quicker.
Clarkson now. Jensen makes the run. Now Nisbet. Jensen well forward, looks to return that to Nisbet, and Beningame is watching him all the way. Knuster out to Shinnie. Palaversa is trying to spread the play, but it's one for Penrice to get a hold of, helped on by Devlin.
See, that's the thing, it wasn't a great ball there, but if you look at Papagate, he actually tried to come short and then spin off in behind. You don't want everybody just showing to feet, because that's when it'll work out for Hearts, because they can see everything in front of them. If you have a couple of runners in behind, then you can maybe open them up.
It's a bit of a needless push from Nisbet. Still on loan from Millwall. He's got another year on his deal there. In his recent form, I'm sure Aberdeen would love to make that a permanent signing.
It's turned out real well for him, to be fair, in terms of his goal involvements. I think, what is it, 7 goals in the last 10. It's really good going, and it was interesting to hear his interview as well, saying that he knew he was a little bit off at the start of the season, but he's worked really hard to reclaim his form, so it's good to hear.
And interesting as well from Jimmy Tulleen, he's commenting on he's become an important member of the leadership group as well. As Topi Keskinen goes down, so too does Lawrence Shankland, and that's a handy free kick to win.
That's exactly what you want from your striker. When we talk about wanting an out ball, he's got the strength to hold it up, he's asking questions, and now you get the little breather, now you can push up the pitch and maybe cause 1 or 2 problems of your own.
Forrester to take aim, clip that one towards Kent, who won it well. Shinnie. Shankland will have the volley. It was always going to be difficult dropping to control the strike.
Yeah, it was always going to be a difficult one for even someone Shankland's quality. It just didn't quite drop for him, but they work it well. Kent just knocks it, tries to knock it across, he gets it there again, and it's really difficult. But you feel like those kind of situations, set plays, might be a way back for Hearts to really do something.
He was scoring goals like that last season, wasn't he?
Everything he touched. And that would have probably went in last season.
Here's Keskinen, does well to get to the byline and drag that one back. Got away from Kent initially. Palaversa, Jensen, Morris. Palaversa again looking to get that ball in early. It's Gay's header! And it's just a whisker wide. He still had a lot to do with the header. He was not far away at all.
It's something that Aberdeen have done really well today. I mean, you look at the delivery, Palaversa, and Happagate doesn't have to really do much. He tries to get his neck round and get it on target. He's really unlucky. He's just a little bit behind him. You just see it here, just a little bit. He's so unlucky. 6 inches the other side. It's causing problems.
It's just the spin on the ball. Initially, that would have looked like it was going to tuck in the corner for Papagate.
So one thing with a striker like that, as a defender, a centre-half, you have to go and be aggressive with him. There's been too many warnings already. Well, the ball off the bar, it hits in off Craig Gordon, and then the one just before it, and then now this. You have to be tight to him. You can't allow him any sort of space in that 6-yard box.
Jensen, Palaversa, Clarkson. Jensen just showed too much of it to Penrice. Pressure for Dorrington from Shankland. Now Clarkson to angle that over the top of Forrester. Keskinen. Palaversa seeing plenty of the ball. Knooster.
This is the thing, it's difficult, isn't it? Like when it's semi-finals or finals or whatever it may be, and a team loses a man, especially if it's been a good game, because it spoils it just a touch. Because one team has to sit back and defend, and the other's got all possession, like we're seeing in this second half now with Aberdeen.
Palaversa. Jensen, who's getting well forward. Just a momentary tug on his jersey. Morris. Jensen again. Clarkson with the curling delivery. McCart sends it clear, and Aberdeen have to come up with another way. Knooster. Shinnie. Palaversa. Jensen to Clarkson. That's good closing down from Devlin. McCart wins the header. Might come out to Morris. That's a foul on Penrice.
Yeah, it's a foul there, but that's the thing, it's such hard work for Hearts. They're shifting across, they're moving, they're getting out, they're trying to be aggressive, but that one moment that you can, and you see Clarkson, yeah, it wasn't a great ball, but the deliveries have been really good this afternoon, and they can't allow it, especially with the way Papagate is this afternoon.
Will take as much time over everything as they can, trying to wind it closer to the 90, give them as much of a chance with 10 men.
And a breather. You need a little breather now and then.
Nisbet. Devlin holding his face after Nisbet challenged him.
there was a coming together. You see Devlin flying in, and Nisbet's just, he's got his arms out, and it did look like he collided with his elbow at first, but it was accidental for me. As you see him here, Nisbet, he's using his strength. He doesn't know Devlin's coming in there, and look, it connects with it. It looks a little bit of a sore one. Fair play to Devlin, he jumps back up. That would have been painful, but I don't think Nisbet sees him.
Tough old competitor, Cammy Devlin. Here's Halkett. Gets it back from Grant. Bit of space here for Craig Halkett, of all people. And there'll be a Hearts corner, and listen to the response from those in maroon.
Real good play from Hearts. You don't expect to see Halkett out there in the wide right, but he tries to pick out a runner. But this is the situations you need. When you have been so defensive and you get it to the final third, you need to make it count. It needs to be a good delivery, and it normally is from somebody like Penrice.
James Penrice, dangerous in swinger. McCart goes after it. It's well over the top though.
Yeah, it was probably just a little bit high in terms of the cross there. McCart couldn't get the power of the connection at the back post. You just see it there. He needs to try and get everything on it. Shinnie probably just does enough just to lean in and put him off.
Clarkson just got enough on it to Jensen. Devlin trying to make life as difficult as possible. He's down again. Morris will play on though. Neil Critchley trying to explain that this is a head knock and therefore play should be stopped, and now John Beaton does halt the play.
Yeah, Neil Critchley could see shouting on, talking about a head knock. It looked like a little bit of a coming together between Devlin and Shayden Morris.
And you mentioned that before, that this it runs the clock down. It gives Hearts a breather, frustrates Aberdeen as well when you get these stoppages in play.
Yeah, absolutely, because from an Aberdeen point of view, you want to keep the tempo high, you want the ball on the pitch at all times so you can tire them and wear them down. This stop-start is not ideal for them, and look, if you're a Hearts player, you're going to use all these moments. Look, it was a little bit of a flailing arm, he maybe caught him with his hand, and he's going to take the time. He knows his team needs a little breather, a little rest, and what an opportunity.
Maybe to lean deep in thought of what he can maybe do to have an influence out there. Back up, ready to come back on, just being held back for now, and Hearts back up to 10. It's Clarkson, Shinnie, Keskinen, sliding in as Forrester.
The way Hearts have set up, it's probably made it more difficult for Aberdeen to use their pace like we've seen in the first half, because they drop back in a 5. There's not much room for them to run in behind, so it's working for them at this moment in time. The only thing is, it's very difficult for Hearts to then win the ball and get back up the pitch.
Knooster, Shinnie and Clarkson looking early. Nisbet's trying to get in behind McCart. Craig Gordon had come off his line. Beningame will happily take that free kick.
Yeah, again, good defensive play by Hearts. Beningame does well to shield the ball. Jensen goes into the back of him. Again, stops the play.
over an hour played. Still locked at 1-1, but the big advantage with Aberdeen is the extra man after Michael Steinwender sent off the closing stages of that first half. McCart does win the header, but it's always going to be difficult to steer that anywhere other than out for a goal kick.
I always think like these are the moments when Hearts are retreating, they're not fully back. Can you switch the play quickly? Can you then get in behind them? Like now, like they tried to get it over to Shinnie at one stage. Can you do that? Can you get Keskinen running in behind before they set the line just in front of the 18-yard box?
Clarkson, Gay presents it straight to Devlin. You can definitely feel Aberdeen's frustration growing, and here goes Penrice with space to run into. Shankland in the middle, Grant too. He goes to the back post towards Shankland. Important header away, it's Forrester, and he drives it well over the top. He was claiming there was a touch on its way, but it will be a goal kick.
I feel like it was possibly Shinnie there. I'll need to see him again, that just had a little nick on the ball there just to keep it away from Shankland. But great break. Halkett does ever so well to get the ball out with Penrice. That's what they need to be doing. I know it's difficult, but that's what they need to do. Quick breaks.
And now Hearts straight back into their defensive positions after that breakout. Palaversa looks for Gate. Kent sends it clear.
You would feel the likes of Kent, Halkett and McCart would fancy balls into the box, wouldn't you, in this second half, that they can obviously deal with it, but they can get control with it like Halkett did and be sensible in possession. You've seen the breakaway.
Graham Shinnie. Knooster. Clarkson. Nice disguise on the ball to Jensen. Knooster. Again, Jensen, the one furthest forward, he's sensing the opportunity to make that extra man count. It's just under 40,000 inside the National Stadium for this one.
And that's the thing, sometimes it's a different runner. Jensen from fullback, if he tries to make that penetrating run through the back three, if somebody's got the vision, the likes of Clarkson to just dink it over the top, that could be the breakthrough that they're looking for.
Jamie McGrath had just been called back from his warm-up. Another player just back from injury. He'll be Hibs bound in the summer, but still with a big part to play in Aberdeen's season. Shinnie, Gay goes after it. Jensen, Morris wants it. Took too long to come to him. Jensen. Gordon out to claim.
It's a good idea, but you always know Craig Gordon's going to come out and claim that. McGrath just shows you the faith that the manager has in him, and that he's 100% dialed in for his team at this moment in time. He's come back quickly from injury, and he needs something to open a defence, and he's went straight to him.
Been out since January, Jamie McGrath, but such an important player in this Aberdeen side. It'll be a huge blow for them to lose him. The extra year being offered by Hibernian, I think the tipping point in the negotiations.
I mean, it'll be a huge blow when you think about Jimmy Talleen and his team moving forward. It's a project he wants to build for the future, and I'm sure he'd have wanted him to be part of that as well.
Well, and plus it goes to a rival.
Exactly. It's not ideal, is it?
Clarkson. Now Shinnie. Keskinen.
The back five have done well. They're holding firm. Defensively, there's not many gaps in between. Yes, they're dropping deep. You see them pushing up at this moment in time, but they're not allowing Aberdeen any sort of space. And that's exactly what they need to do from now till the end.
It's Palaverso, I think, will be the one to come off for McGrath. Morris. Jensen gets the shout from the Aberdeen support. McGrath thought that he was having his moment to come on there, but Aberdeen took the throw quickly. Clarkson. Shinnie up to Keskinen. That'll be a Hearts throw, and now the change can be made. And it is indeed Antti Palaversa that will make way for Jimmy McGrath. Does it change the dynamic in there much? I mean, I think Palaversa probably slightly more defensively minded, possession-based.
Yeah, I would say so. He likes to get on the ball and keep things ticking. I think McGrath will give you something a little bit different. He can see a pass, and he's not afraid to play the ball forward, and I think that's what they need. Get him in some sort of space, let him turn, let the play develop, and you know he'll find someone.
Knooster to Shinnie, now McGrath. Dorrington. Morris, I haven't seen him go by Penrice in this second half.
Because, I mean, you look now and you see how high Shinnie is. Look where Jensen's playing as well. Because they don't need all the defenders back just to deal with Lauren Shankland. You can just put two on him, and it just gives you a different sort of out ball as well.
Can you sometimes then end up with too many players clogging up the space?
Exactly. But it's about timing your runs. You don't just stand in a line. Some go short, some go long.
Plenty in the box here. It's Gay. And smashed clear by Halkett. And won by Devlin up against Morris.
Because you're spot on with what you say, because you can get stuck in a line and everybody just facing up the ball, just looking. But that's when you have to be clever. You need people coming off short, spinning in behind. You've got somebody out wide, there's an overload, and move it quickly. If you do that, that's when you can punish teams.
Shinnie, Keskinen. McGrath trying to clip that towards Nisbet. Out it goes. Aberdeen will have a corner.
I just feel from an Aberdeen point of view, if they start to get lazy with it and they're just trying to throw balls into the box, you just feel that the Hearts back three will be happy with that. They'll be happy just to clear it all day.
Clarkson short to Morris. Shinnie, it's a looping ball in, and Gay goes for it. He's such an aerial presence, a real danger.
It's a guy they need. You have to get tight to him. Don't allow him to jump. He's powerful. He's a powerful jumper. I mean, you see here when it's pulled back, it's a very loopy cross to the back post, and he just steps away, drives in. Look, it comes to nothing. But at the end of the day, if he gets a decent touch on that and drops it down, you've got a problem.
Well, tomorrow's semi-final is between St Johnstone and Celtic from 2:30 Premier Sports 1. It's also the second leg of the Coppa Italia Milan Derby semi-final Wednesday night, 7:55 Premier Sports 2. Devlin. Goes straight out. Remember as well, there's the Scottish Football Social Club hosted by Darryl Curry, brought to you by McBookie. That's live on Premier Sports YouTube and X channels every Monday from 6 p.m. to review all the weekend action. Clarkson. It's over the top of Gay, dealt with by Forrester. Now Beningame. Neat turn from him. Finds Shankland, plays the 1-2. Beningame now with Penrice outside him. Trying to buy some time for Shankland to get into the box. McGrath had gone all the way back with him.
I'll tell you one thing, brilliant play from Hearts there. Beningame at the bottom there, just breaking out, being strong on the ball, but having the composure to play a 1-2 with Shankland.
And again, he's found a good pass for McCart. Penrice. McCart again. Morris that blocks the cross.
You can't take the extra touch there. Look, I think if Penrice takes a little touch, just a little bit of pressure just off the pass, he can put it in first time, because you had three almost in the box there.
And Shinnie just waiting for the contact from Forrester.
There it is again.
Space for Graham Shinnie now. Keskinen ahead of him. Now it comes to the Finn. It's Keskinen, it's a very busy box that he takes aim at, and Halkin stabs that one out for another corner.
He does well, Keskinen, but initially he tried to cut back in the pitch. I felt originally he needs to drive to the line. Look, he does it in the end, but by that time the defensive unit is back and they're able to clear it. But when you get that little bit of space, Keskinen just drive to the byline and then try and cut it back originally.
Clarkson to swing it in. Might come to Dorrington at the back. Cleared away by Beningame. Alfie Dorrington. And now Gay. Clarkson. Keskinen again just hovering. Clarkson's going to take aim here. Oh, and Craig Gordon was wrong-footed with a deflection. And relief for Hearts as that one goes out for another corner.
But yeah, they work it well. Dorrington does well to pass the ball inside. It works its way to Clarkson. And look, have a shot from there, because then the defence is thinking something different. It takes a big deflection. Luckily enough for Craig Gordon, it goes wide.
Into the final quarter of an hour. Still no way through for Aberdeen as Clarkson sends that one in. Won by Morris and Dorrington, but here goes Shankland. Hearts have certainly been a threat on the counter-attack as well. The flag is up against Papagay.
It's something they have worked really well at. I mean, defensively they've been solid as a unit, working hard for each other, but then they've had that little bit of quality that's been needed from the likes of Beningame. Can he get it into Shankland and then out wide to Penrice?
Well, the yellow card flashed, and I think the way of Cammy Devlin.
I don't think there's an awful lot. Look, both players going for the ball. You know what Devlin's like, he's going to be aggressive. It's slightly over, so when you see that and go, maybe a yellow is enough.
There's going to be another change for Neil Critchley's side. There's confirmation of the yellow card for Cammy Devlin. Hearts are going to bring Stephen Kingsley on. He too has been out for a long period of time with a hamstring problem since December. And he'll replace Adam Forrester, the 19-year-old. Celebrated his new deal this week. It's a solid performance from the teenager.
Yeah, he's done well, and I think take everything into consideration, going down to 10 men. It's a big pitch out there. You've been asked to do a lot of work at a young age. So I think this is a good substitution. Kingsley coming on, he'll be a threat if given the opportunity to get forward, and defensively he'll be strong.
Talinas. There's Penrice. That'll be a Hearts free kick.
Real good play there from Penrice. You see Jensen there getting a yellow card. He's tugging on him. He's not allowing him to get any sort of space to get a cross in. Again, a huge opportunity for Hearts here.
Alexander Jensen picks up the yellow card. Now the Hearts support rise on the far side in the north stand in anticipation of this free kick. Is this their moment? George Grant will take it right on top of Mitov, who claims it well.
So that's the thing, you need to take advantage of those big opportunities. Grant, he's trying to play it in an area, but it needs to be a little bit lower. You can't allow Mitov just to come out and collect when you've got all the big guys up there trying to attack it.
Shinnie, McGrath, Clarkson, Dorrington. McGrath, read by Kingsley. Shankland. Kingsley did well to keep it in. The Aberdeen fans on that far side certainly didn't think so. It's a double change about to come up for Aberdeen. Ode Dabat and Jeppe Okels will be coming on, but here's McGrath in a bit of space. Keskinen calls for it. Managing to hold off Beningame. Shinnie now towards Gay. Jensen. The block comes in from McCart. You have to say Hearts have defended so well in this second half.
They've been absolutely brilliant. I mean, as a unit together.
Nisbet though.
You see again there, as a unit they've been so good. Just holding Aberdeen up, not to allow them to get in behind. Because in the first half they had space to go and exploit. They haven't had that this second half. But not only from a defensive point of view, from an attacking point of view as well. They've got the composure and the likes of Beningame in midfield to take a touch, calm things down and play the ball forward, and they've been a threat.
So Topi Keskinen and Pape Gay make way for Ore Dabat and Jeppe Okels, another two of the January signings on loan from Charleroi and Preston North End.
I think from a Dabat point of view, it gives you something different to think about as a defender. I don't think you have to go and be so aggressive with him. It's going to be difficult to put balls into the box for him to go and win headers. But he's got quick movement. He wants to pass and move and try and get in behind, and that's probably why Jimmy Tilleen's tried to get him on the pitch.
Dabat got a double in the quarter-final against Queen's Park up at Pataudry. A Hearts free kick in the middle of the pitch. George Grant felt that.
I just think that's a silly foul to give away. I mean, you're just asking or giving Hearts an opportunity just to throw it in the box and make something happen. You need to be composed.
Time ticking towards the 90th minute. Of course, back in 86, it was in the final 10 minutes when it all kicked off. John Robertson put Hearts in front in 80 minutes. Duncan Shearer equalised with 3 minutes to go, and then an Alan Johnson winner with the last touch of the game. loses out to Nesbitt. Daba won't catch it before it goes out of play.
He's lucky that that was curling out the pitch, because if it was coming back inside, there could have been a real opportunity there.
There's an extension triggered in Ode Daba's Charleroi contract this week. Shankland causing a real problem for Knudsen. It's quite the battle down there between those two. Shinnie and Devlin then involved. It will just be a goal kick, but Hearts were expecting more.
Yeah, I mean, it's good hold-up play from Shankland. He's trying to weave a little bit of magic and try and get out of a tight situation. And of course, Cammy Devlin backing him up.
And now Hearts players rushing back into position. Vocals, something new for Hearts defence to think about. McGrath to the back post. In comes Morris. Well, it's a big chance for the winger.
Yeah, it's a big chance. They work it really well with that back post. I never really fancied him, if I'm totally honest. He didn't really go with any sort of authority to try and get his head on the ball. It just more hit him. But again, defensively, well done from Hearts.
Leighton Clarkson with the delivery in over the top. Well, actually, well wide it goes. Knudsen with the attempted header. It's Clarkson back to Jensen. McGrath. Aberdeen desperate for the goal. That's towards Daba. No joy there for the Palestinian.
That's what I'm saying. You can't put balls, for me, into him like that. He's not going to win it. If you're going to drop it into his chest, yes, no problem. But you're just wasting time by trying to do that. Play quickly, get it out wide, play your 1-2s, use the movement more than just a hopeful ball into the box.
Devlin and Clarkson. Now Beningame. Devlin's down, but Hearts have interest forward here. It's Penrice. Shankland had peeled away at the back post. Hearts have a corner.
You just feel if Hearts are going to get anything, it's going to come down this left-hand side. Beningame again working the ball really well, getting out wide. And that man Penrice down the outside trying to cut it back for the likes of Shankland to come in on it.
George Grant. Well, Clarkson got the first touch. Daba looked to get it away. Oh, and Mitov was scrambling across there. I think Penrice that hit the shot.
What a chance. I mean, it had Mitov absolutely scrambling. You see here, it's not cleared. It's a poor pass. I mean, why are you trying to play at the edge of your box? Penrice onto it in a flash. Really unlucky.
Vocals up against Kingsley. Twisting and turning, over hitting the delivery with his left foot. Jensen won't be able to catch that either. And Hearts are looking to make another change. It will be Sander Khartoum that comes on, the Norwegian who scored 2 magnificent goals in the quarter-final at Tynecastle to take care of Dundee.
Oh, how they would love one of them right now. They were outstanding finishes.
It's fresh legs on for Hearts as well. The Norwegian comes on for the final 3.5 minutes of normal time. Dorrington. Knudsen, Nisbet. Penrice sends it long, the bouncing ball awkward for Knudsen. Jensen closed down by Devlin. Shankland to Beningame. Those three have really stood up in this second half.
And they've been excellent. Worked so hard. Beningame, he gets the ball, he wins it back, he does everything that you want, but then he finds a pass, he finds a teammate, and he links up really well with the likes of Shankland coming off the front, and then you've got Penrice overlapping. A lot's come down this left-hand side, and add into that Devlin, and he works hard, he wants to be aggressive and tackle people and get in your face. You need all those things when you're down to 10 men.
Touched on by Penrice, Shankland, Beningame. Penrice again. Devlin outside him if he needs him. He might now, or not, it's well found. Morris closes down the cross. Devlin again. Penrice teasing that one in, but it's too close once again to Mitov.
Really unlucky. He does well just to get a little yard, just to shift it and then swing the ball in. You do feel that Hearts could create an opportunity just the way they've been playing in the last couple of minutes.
2 minutes to go. Extra time looming. Morris does well to help that on to Jensen. Clarkson. Knuster. McGrath back to the Dutchman. Clarkson is thinking about trying one here. Here's Beningame. Look at Devlin. Shankland up with him. Aberdeen getting numbers back. Khartoum. Is this lining up for the most dramatic of finishes? Kingsley. Kent. Halkett. And Penrice will come in from the left wing back, away from McGrath.
Probably just lost a little bit of momentum there, just coming back out. But look, it's understandable, you're tired a little bit, you don't want to give anything away, but they're doing well.
McCart targeting Shankland. Mitov didn't quite get his read, but was able to recover. Knuster. Out wide it goes to Shinnie. Knuster edging forward. Ockles wouldn't quite come to Shinnie, and away by Kingsley. 3 additional minutes started now. McGrath, Shinnie, Jimmy McGrath. That's well over the top.
Yeah, he's got ability to take opportunities for there, but that one's blazed over the bar. I mean, Hearts have been outstanding for me in this second 45, defensively, and they've carried a threat. Aberdeen have really struggled to break them down. It's all about just seeing out these last few minutes, getting to extra time, and maybe try and pick them off.
The 10 men you feel have earned their extra half an hour. There'll be some tired legs out there, particularly in the Hearts jerseys. You have to say, Aberdeen haven't created much in front of Craig Gordon in this second half. Knuster has to go and retrieve that one. Here's Ockles. Shinnie. McCart was just backpedaling. Morris. Jensen. Morris. We haven't seen him getting to the byline. The change of shape has really helped Hearts in that sense. Clarkson now sends one into the box. Well read by McGrath. Morris now, is this his chance to come up with something special? It's McCart that steers it away. Devlin read that all day long. Dorrington sliding in on Khartoum. It's a yellow card for Alfie Dorrington, and well, the Hearts players asking the question there of John Beaton.
Yeah, just runs away from him there. He tries to be aggressive. I thought it was a yellow card at first glance. I mean, we'll wait and see. You see him here, it's just running away from him. It's fine. It's absolutely fine when you see it there. He gets the touch on the ball, and then he tries to drag his feet out of it a little bit there, and there's a coming together.
That's a good example of the difference between that and the James Wilson one at Tynecastle against Dundee recently, isn't it?
That's the exact difference. Look, I think James Wilson won. He did slightly try and pull out. He didn't be aggressive and straighten his leg, but it was still high. Where there, he manages to actually, Dorrington, to get them away quickly.
Craig Gordon to send it long, but there is no more time left. And an enthralling Scottish Cup semi-final has another half an hour to go. Lawrence Shankland levelling the, well, it was an own goal from Craig Gordon after Papa Gay's header rattled off the crossbar. 1-1 at the break, but Hearts played that entire second half with 10 men. And they will have to do the same for another half hour after Michael Steinwender was sent off in the first half. So extra time to come, full time after the 90 minutes at Hampden Park. Hearts Midlothian 1, Aberdeen 1, and extra time is next. Well, the extra man hasn't made a difference for Aberdeen in that 45 minutes of the second half. 30 to go with penalties looming. Aberdeen, of course, remember, were at this stage last season. 3-3 with Celtic after extra time, went to penalties and all the drama that ensued there. Hearts in extra time for the first time in a semi-final since 2020 against Hibernian when they won 2-1, progressed through to the final. Did lose, if I'm right in thinking, the 2022 Cup final against Rangers. Did Hearts in extra time. Here's Clarkson. That's a wild one, but Jensen reacted.
Yeah, I think listening to the boys there, they're spot on. Like, you have to be patient at times. I don't think they're using the ball wisely enough. Like here, you can see that's better, a switch of play.
Shinnie hooks that back towards Dabat. Shinnie. Clarkson. Kent slides it clear. Dorrington looks out for Jensen. Polvara coming on at half-time for Shaden Morris.
Yeah, again, I don't think the second half, they didn't allow him any space, and I think that goes down to Hearts and what they tried to do defensively. And he did run out of steam, to be fair, but defensively Hearts just shut him out, didn't give him any sort of room to manoeuvre. And it again goes for the extra time. Hearts will, same game plan, defensively be strong.
Jensen's ball in, there's Kent's header. Requires some more work from Khartoum, but Polvara out to Shinnie, who looks low. Kingsley knocks it away. It's going to be an Aberdeen corner.
It's always a difficult one, extra time, because you are tired physically, mentally. Nobody wants to give away any sort of mistake to the other, so we'll see if we see too much attacking and backwards and forwards, because it's very difficult to do that this late on in the game.
Jimmy McGrath to take it. Gordon stayed on his line. I think he was forced into that.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little bit pinned down, possibly McCart.
Clarkson. Oakles. Watson on the right foot towards the back post. Penrice gets the header. Halkett will go for the second ball. Shankland picks up on the edge of the area. Beningame now will too. Finds Penrice. Shankland occupying Canuster, but fouling him as well.
See, I just think that's two guys being aggressive with each other. Shankland gets the best of him, of Canuster. He's strong with him, he rolls him, they're both at it. I think that should be allowed to play on.
Jensen. Now McGrath. Clarkson. Nisbet looks for it, and Gordon got the vital hand to pluck it out the air.
Well done, Craig Gordon, because I just thought that last second it was maybe going over him, but he used all that frame and that big long arm just to grab that out of the air. You see it here, you're thinking just it might go over. Just as well, he's so tall, so big.
Using all that experience, 42 years of age, Craig Gordon, it's incredible.
Yeah, he's got plenty of it. Plenty of experience.
His first spell with Hearts from 2001 to 2006.
It's actually crazy to think about. Like, I can't actually think about running about on this pitch for 5 minutes, never mind 90 or extra time.
McGrath. Dorrington.
You just feel like everything that Aberdeen are doing at this moment in time, like you see the line of, what, 5, nearly 6, trying to attack, and they're just trying to put balls into the box. For the Hearts back three, they would just mop that up all afternoon, they'd be quite happy to deal with that. It needs to be quicker, they need to move the ball quickly.
Oakles, that will miss everyone.
Like that. There's no point in just putting a ball in for the sake of it. If you can get somebody coming off short, play a little 1-2, get in behind the Hearts back line that are maybe tiring a little bit, then you might get an opportunity. But just to put a ball into the box for the sake of it, it's pretty pointless.
Clarkson picks up, does well to find Polvara. Now Jensen. Polvara. Jensen. There's a rare opportunity to stretch Hearts on that occasion. It will be Hearts throw. Polvara made sure he got there first ahead of Cartoon. Shinnie. And Oakles just let it run across him. He's won it back though from Kent. Still the battle goes on. Kent goes down. And it will be a throw.
Good defending though from Frankie Kent. He holds him up, he's aggressive. With Oakles, he doesn't give him any sort of room to manoeuvre.
Tabat holds up Beningame. Clarkson out to Jensen. Back it comes to the Englishman. Polvara. Nisbet. Jensen with the chance to cross. Comes off Penrice and another Aberdeen corner. Those are mounting up.
Yeah, they are. And look, it's difficult, I think, from a Hearts back line. You maybe fancy yourself to go and win the header, but you don't want to keep giving corners away. But you see there from an Aberdeen point of view, when you do quicken up, one comes short, play a quick 1-2, you get a better opportunity to put it in the box.
McGrath, poor delivery. He's going to get a second chance. And he doesn't get that past Devlin either. Shinnie out to Oakles. Dabat. header well over the top from Polvara.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one. I mean, it's a good pick out from Deba, but yeah, I mean, you're going to have one almighty header to get it on target from there with not much pace on the cross. As you see here, it's just pulled back. It's very difficult from there to get anything on target, any purchase on it.
Such a big prize on offer at the end of it. 24th of May will be the Scottish Gas Scottish Cup final back here at Hampden Park. Is it going to require penalties to separate these two? Nisbet. Now Jensen. Dorrington, Clarkson. Onus is all on Aberdeen. But their questions haven't been overly probing as yet, and that just about sums it up.
It does.
Dorrington.
I mean, it's just a wasteful ball. I mean, a centre-back driving forward, you need to try and pick somebody out. I mean, I don't know if it was a shot or a cross or to be fair, what it was, but no team, I understand, wants to make any sort of mistake, especially not in extra time. You don't want to give the other team an opportunity. But I just feel from a Hearts point of view, they've been excellent defensively. I know in extra time they've maybe not had that much of a threat going forward, because you're trying to hold off. Why wouldn't you? You've done all this hard work. Why would you not try and just be defensively sound for penalties?
I think I posed the question to you just in the early stages of the second half that, or it was maybe more of a statement, that Jimmy Tilleen would probably just stick with what he was doing, see how it panned out. Do you think they maybe miss an opportunity to change something? It's still that same formation that we see them play all the time, and almost plays into Hearts' favour when they set up with that back five.
Yeah, possibly, because at times we're actually seeing flip 5v5 in a line. And I think from a defender's point of view, if you can see everything and everybody wants it to feet, it's relatively easy to mark. And I think the fullbacks for Hearts have been excellent in the amount of work that they've done covering back in as well. So they've been excellent. I think you need to try something. And Jimmy Tilleen's had opportunities to speak to his players to say, look, why don't you somebody come off short? Why can't we have runners in behind? Try and pull them out of position. But they've just done the exact same thing and it's not worked.
Beningame back up to his feet, recovering from that incident. It will be an Aberdeen free kick for the handball. Here's Nisbet with the strike. No bother for Craig Gordon.
No bother, but they try something a little bit different. Nisbet spins off into space, tries to get a strike away, and it's on target. Well, it's never going to trouble Craig Gordon from there, but it's something a little bit different.
Dorrington wins it for Polvara. It's going to be a Hearts free kick though. Devlin the man down.
You actually seen one just before this where Shankland dropped off and you see Knooster actually pull his top. You just didn't quite see it there, but yeah, it kind of leads with the arm, and I think whenever you do that, especially with somebody that's not quite as tall as you, it's going to look a lot worse.
It'll be Sander Khartoum to take this free kick. Again, it's a very straight angle. Deba goes back with McCart. Khartoum trying to help that out to Kingsley, who knew he was coming back from an offside position.
Yeah, I think it is a difficult angle. I mean, if you're quite central but far out, you can see him trying to get the bend on the ball, but it didn't quite work out. You're maybe best laying it short off and then delivering.
Final 2 minutes of the first half of extra time. Shinnie. Clarkson. Oakles. Back it comes to Graham Shinnie. We'd love to have had that on his left foot. McGrath. Now Nisbet takes a deflection on the cross. McCart. I don't think the communication was quite right there between McCart and Gordon, so he took no chances.
Yeah, the communicate. If you can't hear your goalie coming up out as a centre half at this late stage, absolute no chances. You clear it out the pitch if that's what needs be.
Shinnie for Oakles, now gets the return. Graham Shinnie here, the cut back. Daba! Oh, what a save from Craig Gordon, and to get the second one before Polvara pounced. That is outstanding from the 42-year-old.
What a save from Craig Gordon. I mean, I've seen him do this for years, but the first time that Aberdeen work it really well, Daba, he thinks he's scored. What a touch, swivels on it. Great strike, and wow, what a save. He's down so sharp. Big hand, the strength in the wrist, everything just to claw into it. Brilliant save, kept Hearts in it.
He's been such a huge part of this season's Scottish Cup run. Remember back to the 2 penalties saved in the shootout in Paisley against St Mirren. When Hearts looked to be heading out, but a late Callum Nieuwenhof goal kept them in it. That is that for the first half. In extra time, Craig Gordon coming up with a huge save to keep this level. So, Daba denied. And at the break, it remains as you were. Hearts Midlothian 1, Aberdeen 1. Hearts sitting back through Lawrence Shankland, but with the numerical advantage for such a long time, Aberdeen have not made it count as yet. Here's Khartoum. He'll pick that up as well. The way it goes by Knooster. Well done by Kent. Khartoum on the chase again. Devlin has worked tirelessly in the middle of the park. It's a bit of a breakdown for Hearts.
That's the thing, Rory. You look at that Daba opportunity. That's what Aberdeen at the beginning of the season were very good at. That 1-2 quick pass and sharp byline cut back. That's what they should have been trying to do in the second half, but they didn't, as in the second 45. So it's their first real opportunity that's taken them so long. But a lot of credit, I think, has to go to Hearts and everything that they've done.
Well, Alfie Dorrington has just gone down. Dimitar Mitov demanding that Mats Knooster puts the ball out so he can receive attention, but straight away that looks like the hamstring, and it may well be the end of his game.
Well, it's a bit of crap to me. You can see, sometimes you can see when players go down and it's a hamstring pull or whatever, but see when he looked quite rigid there and just holding on. That's because the muscles just cramped up, tensed, and he just can't straighten his leg. It's understandable. I mean, to get to this stage of a game on a pitch that's this big is very difficult.
So that is the end for Alfie Dorrington. Jack Milne comes on to replace him.
I always think it's one of those ones as a defender, you can't really risk it, because whenever I played, see whenever I felt cramp, I could not run it off. Like some people just have a drink or a Lucozade or whatever it may be, a gel, and they can continue. I was never like that, and I think as a defender, if the ball goes over your head and you start cramping up, that's you.
Knooster gets it back from Oakles. Shinnie. Ockles points for it. It's a good ball from Shinnie. Halkett sends it high and clear. Graham Shinnie looks for it again. Beningame trying to track him, which he does. Did he save the corner? He certainly does.
Beningame excellent again there. Done really well not to give away the corner, but another decent bit of play from Aberdeen out wide. They move the ball quickly. Ockles again, he just wants to go down the line. He can't quite pick somebody out, but he's taken to this part of the game to try and carve out an opportunity.
Ockles. Now McGrath. Jensen makes the run beyond him. Devlin tracking it. This is Milne. Knooster. Oh, it almost came through for Polvara. Clarkson has it. Knooster. Shinnie. Plenty in the box for Aberdeen. It's over the top. Polvara, and Jensen steers the volley wide. Couldn't quite guide it into that back post.
It's a difficult one to take, but look, I think he has to do better. I know he's a fullback, probably the wrong guy in that situation. He's looking at it all the way. Look, I know it's difficult, but you need to try, you need to get it on target. It's such a big opportunity. I know he just slightly pulls it. You want someone like Nisbet or somebody like that in that sort of situation. Deba needs to get it on target.
James Penrice is feeling it. Pain there for the left back.
I'm not surprised the amount of work he's got through. I mean, defensively, covering his centre halves, getting forward, getting balls into the box, sprinting back into position. Outstanding.
Milne didn't quite time it right. Jensen forward. Deba with the layoff. Clarkson. Shinnie. Ockles wanted to go in behind. Back with Shinnie. Clarkson. Ockles. McGrath helps it back, looking for Ockles, and McCart got turned quickly enough.
It was a good idea, but luckily McCart was switched on.
In from Milne. Shinnie's coming in at the back post. It will just be a goal kick, and now Lawrence Shankland has gone down for Hearts.
Look, you think the amount of work that you go through with 11 men, never mind 10. Lawrence Shankland's been up on his own a lot. He's went through a lot of work himself, running the line, trying to close people down, getting back in. And honestly, the pitch, there's so much ground to cover with 11, never mind 10. It's one though you'd want to keep him on if it does go for penalties. It's like, can you just run it off, please?
I know that's. I think in the context of the game within extra time, probably thinking of penalties isn't deep towards the back of the mind, but
the cramps went again.
It has to be in the manager's thinking of who can hit a penalty, and Shankland would be right up the top of the list.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it'll be in the back of your mind. It looks like they're possibly going to make a change at the moment. We'll see who it's for, but the penalty situation you're definitely thinking about.
Well, it's Musa Drama that is being ready to come on, and could that be the end for Lawrence Shankland's afternoon? They're going to give him every chance to try and run that off. There's no bend in that leg right now. That's
what I'm saying. Like when I was talking about when I was playing, like when you run about that much and it kicks in, it's very difficult just to have a stretch or a drink and release it. So look, we'll see how he gets on.
Down goes Devlin to claim the free kick, and now the change is going to be made, and it will see Lawrence Shankland's come off. Musa Drama to come on, but it was Shankland's equaliser that has forced us to this stage. Seems a long, long time ago that he lashed that one through the legs of Dimitar Mitov.
I mean, you're probably looking at him like he's putting a power of work. What a shift. Even if he did manage to stay on, could even run up to hit one.
Taken by Khartoum. Now Aberdeen looking to break forward at pace, and really Nisbet and Daba got in each other's way. They've now combined to keep possession. Polvara, that's good play from the American. Great play from Polvara. Clarkson, only 4 back right now for Hearts. Jensen, Clarkson. And Frankie Kent, I think, got the vital block in.
Brilliant block from Frankie Kent. I mean, Aberdeen worked it really well, cut back, and you have to get a block on it, and then, again, good play to stop it.
A yellow card for Mats Knuster for what went on beyond the free kick. Five minutes left of extra time. It's Milne that wins it. Beningame, the last outfield player, back for Hearts. Craig Gordon will just send it long again. Kent is still up there. Shinny up the line. Daba turns well. Polvara eating up the ground. Polvara has done well here, taking advantage of some tired bodies. Oakles, oh, he cuts back in. Gordon, another big save, and off the line from Penrice. Clarkson, but it will be a free kick. It's going to be an Aberdeen free kick.
Another great save from Craig Gordon. But see, just before it happened, I was thinking to myself, don't let the game become too stretched. You're allowing Aberdeen, who's got the extra player, that little bit more room to get into and make something happen. But again, Craig Gordon comes up with the goods.
And there's a red card. And it's Cammy Devlin. The second yellow is out for the Australian, and Aberdeen now have a 2-man advantage with 4 minutes left to play. The backs to the wall job is going to be a park the bus to finish this one.
He doesn't even see him, for me. You can see here, fully focused on the ball. Look, it's unfortunate. I think it's a harsh one.
Well, another change coming. Fletcher Boyd, the Aberdeen youngster, will come on for Alexander Jensen. They desperately want to get this done before the end of extra time, before the threat of penalties. Hearts are going to try and get Blair Spittle on as well, but they've got this free kick to face. Clarkson did it last week. Curled one into the top corner. It's Leighton Clarkson, can't beat the wall. Here's Milne, McGrath. A 2-man advantage for Aberdeen, but time running out. Clarkson, can they make it happen? McGrath, then the touch comes, and there is Daba! Palestinian in the perfect position to touch it home. And at long last, Aberdeen find themselves back in front and has that booked the place in the Scottish Cup final. Ode Daba to write his name in history of Aberdeen. It will be tight for offside. Hearts are praying for a miracle now.
I mean, they work it really well. They're finding spaces. You see the ball into the box. He looks onside to me from here. Oh, it's from the Craig Gordon save. Oh, you never know. You see it here. It looks tight, but the batter's really well. After the initial save, to just reactions, he's in there. It's devastating for Hearts, everything they've put in. But Aberdeen in the last 5 minutes have just managed to find a little bit of space, but this does look tight.
It has been checked. The goal will stand. Ode Daba, the Palestinian striker on loan from Charleroi, looks to have put Aberdeen into the Scottish Cup final. Blair Spittle has come on for Benny Beningame, but Hearts have only got 9 men left out there. Could be on for Nisbet here. Daba towards Oakles. And now Shinnie.
Aberdeen do excellent, don't they, to get the goal. They work it well. Yeah, I mean, the work that Hearts have put into this game and everything, you could just sense it from the players, the devastation when they seen that ball hit the net.
Daba comes short. There's 4 additional minutes. McGrath back to Clarkson. Hearts just can't get a hold of the ball. Late drama. Well, if you have tuned in to watch DHL Stormers against Connaughton, the BKT United Rugby Championship, please head to premiersports.com where you can watch that game from Cape Town. Here's McGrath. Spaces out wide for Dante Polvara. Aberdeen managing the clock, controlling possession. And it's been such a big ask for Hearts ever since the red card for Michael Steinwender. And in the end, the game just 2 minutes too long for them. They've sent Craig Halkett up front in a desperate attempt to try and rescue it.
Yeah, you're going to try from a Hearts point of view, aren't you? But from Aberdeen, just keep the ball. I know they're trying to get the ball further up the pitch, but you're playing against 9 men. Find the spare guy, just keep possession, run the clock down.
35 years since Aberdeen lifted this trophy. As it stands, they will be back on the 24th of November to try once again to break that long wait. Fletcher Boyd making life difficult for Jamie McCart. Here's Spittle. He'll have been disappointed not to have played or had the chance to play more of a part in this game. Many thought he would start in this team. Aberdeen haven't been in a Scottish Cup final since 2017 against Celtic. Remember the Tom Rogic with the final moment to win it. Will it be Celtic? Will it be St Johnstone? We'll find out tomorrow. just 1 additional minute left.
You need to try and throw everything forward, don't you? Might as well. If you get an opportunity.
There's McGrath. Kent closed down by the Irishman. It will be a free kick. It's really a difficult one. Has the better team on the day won it?
The better team on the day won it. Look, I think Hearts done everything that they possibly could to try and get something out of this game. Defensively, I thought they were really good. They posed a threat. I expected more from Aberdeen, if I'm totally honest. Yes, they've got the goal that looks like it's going to take them through, but they just in general play was a little bit poor, a little bit slow, and they're going to need to up it if they do go to the final against whoever they play against.
Well, Musa Drammit will receive a yellow card on a show of Hearts' frustration. And the full-time whistle has been blown. Aberdeen have done it at long last. Maybe a bit of relief to go with the celebrations for Jimmy Tilleen. The Palestinian hero is Ode Dabat, who knocked it in after Craig Gordon saved the effort from Jack Milne. A long afternoon at Hampden Park. Aberdeen eventually see themselves over the line. Hearts finished it with 9 men after Cammy Devlin and Michael Steinwender were sent off. But it's Dabat's day at the National Stadium. Shankland got one for Hearts to equalise initially after a Craig Gordon own goal, after Papagay had rattled the crossbar with a header. But it's all smiles for Ode Dabat, and Aberdeen eventually avoiding what would have been the penalty kicks. Dabat knocking it in from close range, reacting quickest. And after extra time, it's Aberdeen who can look forward to the Scottish Cup final on the 24th of May, where they will face either St Johnstone or Celtic. Full-time score after extra time. Heart of Midlothian 1, Aberdeen 2.